this is some great news, right? So here's the thing. Let me tell you what the Trump administration has been doing to try to mass deport people who are here legally. And right now, you should all realize, if you've seen the videos, that it has nothing to do with criminals. It has nothing to do with illegal. It's about, to me, if you ask me, it's ethnic cleansing, and I'm going to keep using that word. It's about trying to remove as many black and brown and non-white people from the country as possible. Donald Trump, they're saying the quiet powers are allowed. They're saying things like repatriation or remigration, which essentially removing the people of color. Donald Trump, during his campaign, said that there's too many people. We're a dumping ground. There's all these people from all these nations. He said it with so much disgust.
We're like a garbage can for the rest of the world to dump the people that they don't want.
You know, West Indies, there are people who are already here, yes, and there are folks who came as formerly enslaved people, right? But a good chunk of the people, the majority of folks who are here, immigrated from Europe, and then later on from Asia, and then later on from other parts of the world. So it's a nation of immigrants. Donald Trump himself is a child of an immigrant, grandson of two immigrants. Two of his three wives are immigrant. All his children except Tiffany are half immigrant. And I always talk about this. Corey Lewandowski is a child of two Polish immigrants. I say John Toon is a son of an immigrant mom. Ted Cruz is immigrant. Marco Rubio, Stephen Miller is a great-great-grandchild of immigrants from Belarus. Tucker Carlson's great-great-grandchild. So they're all immigrants, but they, for some reason, believe that European immigrants have a bigger stake and claim in this land than the more recent immigrants. But I digress. Get my I Digress merch. This video is sponsored by my merch. Each One Teach One is a saying from the woke era of the 90s. Each person saves, each one teaches another person, and we learn more. You can get it at jjlegal.com, which sponsors this video. And if you'd like to sponsor my videos and help me bring video content to your audiences, that are really savvy, sophisticated, politically active, you can check out jjlegal.com and check out my media kit there. So that's my little ad. Okay, so let me get to the great news. The great news is that a judge issued a nationwide, across the country, created a class. Because remember, nationwide injunctions is an issue that came up in the birthright citizenship case from earlier this year, essentially, where the Supreme Court said that district court judges, federal judges, are not allowed to have injunction based on the entire nation. They can only do an injunction stop based on the people who come before them. So if I'm in North Carolina and I'm a judge and I make a decision, it can only impact the people in North Carolina or people within my jurisdiction, not the entire country. They're like nationwide stuff, that's for us. However, the Supreme Court did say you can do class certification, create a class brace of people who are similar situated. So a judge in California created a class of all of the migrants who have been subject to this really ridiculous thing that the Trump administration has done in their process, an attempt to migrate, to remove people even if they're legally coming to courts. Anyone who was coming to immigration court checking in because they perhaps arrived at the border and claimed asylum, or because they came overstayed and they adjusted status from a visitor visa to a permanent visa, and so they get a number. Once you get a number, you're now technically documented, even if you arrived undocumented or you came across the border and you're checking in. Those people who check in and continue to check in, the process is slow. There's a backlog. We trust those people, the fact that they've been checking in. And in order to say, we trust you guys checking in, we're not going to detain you. There's no need to detain you. The Trump administration have 65,000 people in detention because they decided to change the laws. So what they were doing is having people when people come to the courts, they were canceling and dismissing their case. Why? Because when they cancel and dismiss their case, even though they've been living here 5, 10, 20, some 30 years, checking in, going through the process, they say, now we cancel your case, we're going to put you under give you a new number. Now under the new number, you're technically new, like as if you just arrived, and treating them as if they just arrived. Because the law says if someone arrives at the border or someone is under 2 years, you can detain them because there's a thinking that they may try escape because they've been living under the radar. And so you want to find out more about them. By changing the status of those people and putting them into that category, that's what's been the basis of detaining people. And then they've been denying them bond hearings. And so there's holding these people. That's why you have the mom who just pregnant, who just had a baby. That's why you have these shopkeepers and these merchants and these nurses and homeowners and these elderly and people, because they've just been going around. And that is also why they fired a bunch of immigration judges, because some of the immigration judges was like, no. There's a leaked memo from San Diego or San Francisco that said that they had asked the USCIS to let them know when someone's coming for a green card here.
An internal memo from ICE has been leaked instructing USCIS officers to tell them when an immigrant has come to their interview for the green card so that they can detain them. Did ICE announce this? No. Did USCIS publish this in the Federal Register like they're supposed to? Of course not. And where is this happening? San Diego. If you're out of status and or you have a removal order, this could very likely happen to you if you're interviewing in San Diego. Now, I'm not seeing this with my clients or anywhere outside of San Diego, but if it happens in other offices, I will definitely let you know.
So they're attacking people who've gone through the process, temporary to getting a green card. So it means they're here legally and trying to detain those people so they can shift them. The only purpose of that is to remigrate, to stop the migration, to stop what I think is this extension burst as part of the Great White Replacement Theory. And so they're trying to do as much as possible to ethnically cleanse and stop what's coming in 2065 when there'll be no majority race, meaning the white population in the United States will not be the majority. And I think that's what all of this is about, to be honest. And so, yeah, that's what you have. So the judge was like, to the extent that you are detaining people, and why are they detaining people? Because once they detain them, they can try to deprive them, scare them, threaten them, stop them from seeing a lawyer, and quickly deport them. So by the time they get a lawyer, by the time they get stuff, they've already put them on ship and deported them really quickly. And that is why when they detain them, so they can quickly remove them from the country. And it's just a tactic of violating people's due process rights. So thanks to Judge Sunshine, I love these names, Sunshine, Suzanne Sykes from the Central District of California, that you're looking at 65,000 people being let out. Donald Trump and them say, well, you can only let people out on a case-by-case basis. And she's like, no, I'm going to create a class of everybody because the injury is common to everyone. You're trying to deny people their due process rights. And I shall not have that. So yeah, so that's a pretty great win. Yeah, and again, it's just like trying to remove people, and I love that. And here's, you should also know that there's been over 100 judges that have ruled that Donald Trump's mandatory detention process, and these are judges that are appointed by Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Joe Biden, as well as 35 judges appointed by Republican presidents. So George W. Bush, Ronald Reagan, Donald Trump himself. I know we always mention George H.W.H. Walker Bush. Anyway, for the most part, yeah, those judges have been saying that's not how the process works. If someone's been here for 2 years, for over 2 years, we don't hold them back. And so we've seen cases, I've done some reports on them, saying you got to let these folks go. And there's a class. Let me tell you about another class. Oh my God, when you hear about this,